Hello and welcome to the White Rabbit YouTube channel. In today's episode, we are going to review ancient UFOs to modern sightings, a 2,000-year journey. Plus, I'll talk about the congressional hearings, disclosure UFOs, and the drones over England and the US. Plus, talk about the comments and upcoming episodes. And I've got big long quote from this guy called Ross Coulthart and more. All right, well, to start things off, reviewing the previous episode from last week, 7 days ago, ancient UFOs to modern sightings. This episode was actually only supposed to be the Christopher Columbus story. I was trying to make a short episode, but turns out it was way too short, only like 3.5 minutes. So then I went back and I made a new introduction and I decided to just do ancient UFOs. So I started in 74 BC in ancient Rome, where they had the phenomena over the city. And then the next one was Byzantium, current day Istanbul, where night turned into day for several hours as UFOs did some stuff above the city. And then it was Christopher Columbus sailing across the ocean. And I got a good comment about that. I'll get to that later. And he had his coded journal with the birds and then the UFO candle going up and down in the sky and the USO, unidentified submarine object just below the surface and flying up in front of the three ships and 130 sailors. And then there's the 1561 celestial battle over Nuremberg, Germany, which is the most famous and has the best artwork, which part of it is the thumbnail of the episode. Thanks to Francis for that. And then the 1566 UFO battle over Basel, Switzerland. And then I went into all the modern day footage. Someone asked me which ones were my favorites, and my absolute favorite is the one that we've seen in 3 past episodes, where it's off the coast of Spain, and then there's a UFO that flies. It's like above the ocean, and it's a fishing boat, and then it just flies like not too far from the fishing boat, and then it drops something in the water, and then it drops itself in the water right after, and then 2 jets fly overhead. And then in this clip, I made it a little longer to include the helicopter that slowly comes into scene and tells the fishermen to leave the area. And then I had my friend Justin to translate the subtitles from Spanish to English so that we could know what they're saying, make it seem more real. So thank you for that. And then my new favorite UFO footage is in Peru, when I think it's terrible that people shine the green lasers at the UFOs, but it is what it is. And then this UFO in Peru reacted strangely by first it just like made like a huge like explosion, like a nuclear explosion amount of light, but then it was just light. And then they kept pointing the laser at it and it continued making that big light. And then a little further on, it just became like a small diamond with a circle in the middle. And then it became like a giant white X. So that was amazing. Those are my favorites. Oh, someone commented on one of my videos, probably this one. I didn't write it down though, so it might be from somewhere else. But they said that the Jerusalem UFO, where the temple of the Dome of the Rock, and there's like a bright light and it flies up. He says that was fake. And then I looked into it and I couldn't find what he said it was fake. But anyway, it's very likely. He said it was made by university students as a project or something, kind of like that big bird in Montreal that took away the baby. And that was also the college project. It was fake. Anyway, it's easy to fake stuff these days. Sorry for including not real something. Anyway. And yeah, what were your favorites? UFO scenes. Uh, there is a lot more I could have included, but anyway, it is what it is. And that's the review. As for the comments, there's somebody called M1D commented, "You said Christopher Columbus would encounter something no map could prepare him for, but he was sailing into the unknown with no map, right?" Well, that's the mainstream narrative, of course, but I replied with, actually, no. As mentioned in the Piri Reis map episode, Christopher Columbus had access to Chinese maps who had gone there 50 years prior. And so he knew that he was not sailing into he knew he would find land eventually if he kept going that way. And so he had foreknowledge of the new world. He wasn't venturing into complete unknown territory. He knew what to expect, minus the UFOs and USOs. So thank you for your comment. And then another one from Hoy Holy Fire. Useful knowledge. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for watching. And another one said, what about the UFO congressional hearings disclosure? And before answering that one, I'll do the second question as well. What about the recent drones in the US and UK? All right, so for this one, I wrote quite a long answer, so I'll be looking up and down. Sorry about that, but it's the only way to get it right. All right, so we've all heard and experienced the theory that UFOs in media often serve as a soft opening towards disclosure, subtly preparing the public to accept the existence of the extraterrestrial phenomena. By seeing aliens and UFOs in entertainment and news, society becomes desensitized and more open to the possibility of UFOs being real. This gradual exposure allows governments to broach the subject without causing widespread panic. After the congressional hearings and partial disclosure, the world's reaction has been surprisingly muted, while the revelation of non-human entity encounters and retrieved crafts is undeniably shocking. Most people have continued living their lives as usual. This lack of widespread upheaval is a testament of how effectively media and gradual leaks prepared society for such an announcement. The seeming indifference wasn't an accident, it was the plan all along. By normalizing the idea over decades, disclosure became less of an earth-shattering moment and more of an intriguing development in an already chaotic world. Not long after the disclosure, we started experiences lots of drones appearing by nuclear sites, which I assume is partly due to the largest transfer of nuclear weapons in history. I posted the links as proof on the White Rabbit Facebook page, so if you want to check that out, it's there. The US recently lifted its cap on nukes stored in the UK. This has raised concerns of increased UFO and UAP sightings near nuclear sites, which is basically what the previous episode was about, titled UFOs and Nuclear Sites, a watchful eye on our technology. I got the title that time. The UFOs might just be standing by in case of accidents like Chernobyl and Fukushima, ready to suck up the radiation and prevent further catastrophe. What do you think? The secrecy surrounding the US-UK nuclear transfer was intentional. Publicizing it could have escalated tensions with Russia, which might feel compelled to retaliate to demonstrate strength. By keeping it out of the news, The hope was to avoid unnecessary confrontation. So I hope that answers the questions about the congressional hearings and the US and the UK drones. But according to Ross Coulthart, so he said, as for the drones over the US and the UK, according to the intelligence community, they aren't UFOs and UAPs. They are known foreign nation adversarial drones, which means Russia or China, something like that. The Royal Air Force in the UK picked up on the fact that at least one of the pilots referred to UAPs, not drones. If the pilots sent out to intercept these drones perceived them as UAPs and not drones, what aren't we being told? So that's according to Ross Coulthart. All right, I don't seem to have any questions at the moment, so I will tell you about the future episodes. 1 week from today will be the Prison Planet episode, which I briefly introduced in the last live, I'm pretty sure. Basically, it's about how when humans die, you go somewhere and you see the big bright white light and you're supposed to go towards the light. Sometimes there's a person of great influence over you, like Jesus or Buddha or a family member inviting you to come to the light, but it's a trap. So don't go to the light. And in the episode, you find out why and all kinds of proof that goes along with it. But basically, in a nutshell, it would be aliens or higher dimensional beings are keeping humans on the planet as prisoners, feeding off our negative energy as we live our lives. And they see us as nothing more than animals, as we see farm animals, kind of thing. And when we go to the white light, then we start all over again by reincarnating into a new body. And how to avoid the reincarnation cycle. So you'll have to watch the episode to find out how to get out of the cycle, because there definitely is a way. And yeah, all right. So that's Prison Planet 1 week from today. And the Taiwan pyramid is in the final stages. So that's out there. 32 global flood myths is under construction, if you can say that. A continuation of the continent of Mu proof of the global floods. I have not yet started the Taiwan Mu episode, but I definitely plan to do that. I just want to have some more space between the actual Mu and the Taiwan Mu. And still upcoming will be the Palau episode with giants and pyramids. And I am halfway done filming the Mount Kailash episode, which is right here. It's got the pyramid, it's got the portal, it's got aliens, it's got Nazis, it's got all kinds of good stuff. So stay tuned for that one as well. And I guess that's all for today. So thanks for being here. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments section, or you can ask me on Facebook, the Facebook page, The White Rabbit 4090. It's free. Everyone's welcome. All right. That's all for today. So, as always, uncovering the truth, one conspiracy at a time. See you next week on the White Rabbit YouTube channel.